And we're live. Imagine that. Now you have to excuse me for tonight. I'm a little sick. I think it's just a cold. Got a scratchy throat. Coughing a little tiny bit. A lot of sneezing. Runny nose, man. But other than that, I'm not doing too bad. See if I can get that just a hair bit there. There we go. So anyway, let's start with the hello, even though I did technically say hi to everybody. Now, Gerald Stewart got the cookie. So, congratulations, Gerald. Enjoy that cookie, and we're glad you're here. And Dwight from Curly Express, he got the half cookie. Probably better than that damn Meals on Wheels food that you were eating. You're lucky you lived through that. I would never eat that crap. Anyway, glad you're here. Good to see you. And then we have Hot Dog Pie and Andy. How you doing? And who else? We have Thomas Moore's Trains. Hey, Thomas, how's it going? And who else? Who else? You got Digger Evans Model Railway. Hey, Digger, long time no hear. Good to see you here. Hope you're doing okay. And who else do we have? As we scroll the long line down. There was a long line, too. Oh, we have Iowa, IANR fan, or Iowa. How you doing? Good to see you. I know you were here right on time, actually a little early. Anyway, good to see you here. And who else do we have? Just still scrolling down the line here. It's a long line. Hey, Thomas Grassy. Tom, how you doing? Good to see you here. Chris Ruggieri. How you doing, Chris? Good to see you here, too. And Truck Driver. Chuck, how's it going? Good to see you here. Then we have Sean's Pennywise and Miser Railroad. I haven't seen you in a long time, Sean. Good to see you here. And of course, we have Ray Bertelson. Good to see you, Ray. And Ken Amos Jr. Ken, good to see you. I think we're getting near the bottom here, maybe. Kevin Beverly, how you doing, Kevin? Good to see you here. And that's everybody. And you know, if I missed you, you know what you got to do, right? You can hunt me down and kick my ass. More than welcome to do it. I probably won't give you much of an opposition, because especially right now, I'm definitely a little under the weather. You got your live chat on, Dwight? If Top Chat might not see him, switch over to live chat, but he's in there. Or at least he was. So anyway, guys, yeah, this sucks being sick. I think I got it from my wife. She got sick. She thinks she's got it from her mother, or my mother-in-law, who lives next door to us in the guest house. So it's boom, boom, boom. Everybody's getting a turn getting sick. Of course, I got to be the last, right? The good news is it doesn't seem to be as bad as what those two are getting. So, of course, I'm very proactive. As soon as I start getting a little bit of a scratchy throat, I don't know if you guys know what emergency is. It comes in a packet. It's like 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C in a powder, mix it with water. That shit works wonders. Boom, took one right off the bat. That was yesterday. This morning I woke up, boom, another one right off the bat. Tomorrow I'll do the same thing. So I'm hoping this will pass quickly. It could be a virus, Andy. I'm not sure. You know, since this stupid COVID went around, excuse me, since COVID, there's been no flu, no colds, just COVID. Which, of course, is a big crock of shit. So, more than likely, I just got a common cold. Probably what my wife has, my mother-in-law has. We've all forgotten what it was like to have a cold. And it's been a long time since I've gotten a cold, but that's what it feels like, The thing is, I don't get headaches, where both my wife and mother-in-law both got kind of serious headaches with this, whatever it is I got. I haven't had a headache since I had the stroke back in 2007. I guess that's a good thing. So, I don't know, Dwight. He was there, briefly. I see him. He's back at the top of the list. Tom Grassy, if you're still on, make yourself visible there, and we'll see if everybody can see you. So anyway, that's that. No big deal. Well, it is sort of. He said, pardon the coughing and the sneezing and the occasional nose wipes. It sucks. But it could be worse. So I'm not going to have a real long show tonight, obviously. Hey, there's Tom. He says, I'm here, everyone. Can you see him? Can you see him now, Dwight? Hopefully. Oh, man. Hey, I got good news. Now, you guys remember telling the last 2 weeks, I said my air conditioner quit working. It was originally throwing a P6 code, which could be anything from low freon to a bad board to a toasted compressor, or a bad sensor. So I just kind of resigned myself. I'm probably just going to have to call somebody to work with it because I really don't know what to do on them. These are kind of new to me, Hey, Wigwag Workshop, how you doing, Stephen? Good to see you here. So, I says, you know what? It ain't going to hurt to go out there and take a look at it. Well, I said, let me back up a little bit. First, we're throwing a P6 code. And I did turn it on for probably 3 or 4 weeks. It's been down. I said, oh, what the hell? Let me turn it on again and see what happens. Now I'm throwing an F4 code. So I go look that up on the internet. It's showing that it's the main board out in the condensing unit. There's a problem with the sensor or something on there. All right, well, I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to replace the board. My luck, it'll be damn near as much as the damn unit costs. So, right. I don't know what that is, but it don't sound good. So, I popped the top of the condenser off, and there's a plastic cover over the main board. Pop that off. What do I see? I should have took pictures. A skeletonized lizard about yay long. He's about almost 5 inches long. Skeletonized. Of course, there's lizard goop or residue on the board, and it was shorting out 2 of the pins that go to the compressor. So I removed the skeletonized lizard. He'd been there for a while, apparently. And I took a stiff brush, like a stiff paintbrush, and cleaned off the board the best I can. Well, I figured, well, it's either going to work or it's not, right? Come back in here, turn everything back on, boom, I got air conditioning. Now, yeah, roasted lizard. Yeah, he got toasted all right. And I guess the ants got to him because there was a few black ants that were running around on top of the board, but I think most of them just, took most of the lizard and left. They just left the skeleton. I mean, it was almost perfectly formed skeleton. So I went to move it, it broke in half. But, Ray says that's from an old Bugs Bunny car. I don't remember that one. Very sorry. Says, hey Jim, do you know how to remove some letters from an already made file? Yeah, you just edit. You can highlight it, the letters you don't want, hit backspace and they go away. Or if you did, that's the short way, or you can right click on the file name and scroll down to rename, and you can rename the entire file. Pretty easy to do. Hope that helps you. Yeah, you guys are killing me today. Oh, it hurts to laugh. Damn, I would have paid good money for that skill. I'll bet you would have. He literally just broke out. Well, the circuit has been down for what, 3 months now, I think? And it has been 3 months, because like I said, just throwing a P6 up there and thinking, oh shit, so after a while I just shut it down for a while. I couldn't get heat or anything out of it, because it's actually classified as a heat pump or an inverter air conditioner. So they work a little bit different from normal air conditioners. That's why I was a little wary about getting into it. But I'm glad I did, because I was going to call somebody. It would have cost me $150 just to have them come down here, if not more. And more than likely, if I wasn't standing over his shoulder, he'd have probably got me for a new board. Which who knows what that would cost, you know. Unfortunately, you can't trust most of the AC guys around here. John says, it wasn't the Geico Lizard. I haven't seen those commercials. Could have been. If it was, he died I guess he got fried. He must have got fried, because he was right over the two main terminals of the compressor wires where they come into the board. So they're charged. Of course, they're only 110 volt, but because I have a 110 volt system. But he would have got electrocuted, especially if he was wet, which probably he might have been. And I'm lucky it didn't damage the board, I guess, but because that was when I said, oh shit, I probably fried the board. I'm gonna have to buy a new board. And I was seriously thinking, I paid almost $1,000 for this air conditioner and put it in myself, Of course, now I put a different model in, same capacity, 12,000 BTU, both heat and cool. I put one in my mother-in-law's apartment because the wall shaker she had was garbage, and I got that for $600 and change. So I'm thinking it might be cheaper for me just to buy a whole new unit and put it in, But thank God I didn't have to do either. What does he need done? What you need there, Stephen? Maybe I can help you. Or maybe not, but I'll give it a try. My old air unit crapped to shit last year. It costed, well, the whole house one does, and I got problems with that one too, but I think that's just low on Freon. That's a conventional air conditioner. It's acting like it's low on Freon. I could throw the gauges on it and find out, but I figured, hell, I can't get the refrigerant for it, because I think it uses the same as this, the R410A, and you have to be licensed and all that crap to buy. It's bullshit, It might happen, it's $100 a pound. So but I'm gonna work on that first of the month. I'll probably call somebody in and stand over their shoulders so they don't, bend me over, because I can't afford a new air conditioner. Here they're about $7,000 because they got a 4-ton unit in the house. I'd love to put a heat pump in, but they're about they're closer to 10,000. So that ain't happening anytime soon. Yeah, everything went really high in price, Digger. It's crazy, Ken says I paid $28,500 for 2 complete units installed in my 1870 front floor. Yeah, I remember you talking about that. Jesus Christ, almost 30 grand. That's crazy, isn't it? See, the good news is I could put the units in myself. I could get everything ready, and all they'd have to do is vacuum. Actually, I can even vacuum it down. I have a vacuum pump. All they'd have to really do is put Freon in it and, bleach check it. And that's really all I paid him for if I had it done. 'Cause I could buy the units myself for, I think, right around $2,200 for the pair. You know, the condenser outside and air handler inside. So it's not really that big of a deal. I used to do a lot of AC work. But, you know, I said I should have kept my, I was actually, yeah, what the hell's the word for it? Certified to handle Freon at one time, about 30 years ago. I didn't keep it up because I didn't figure I was going to do it anymore. Looking back, I should have kept my certification. Then I could have bought, you know, Freon all day long. And fuck you, right? Okay, Steven, sounds good. I'll be looking for it. Thomas was having Chinese for supper. Did it put up much of a fight before you got him? I couldn't help myself, sorry. I provided gas lines in place, ran electric poured pads for the AC units, removed all old ductwork that was too small. All they did was hook. And they charge you for all that? Are you kidding me? Jesus Christ, man. They come with it. They give you a big wet kiss and a big jar of Vaseline, too? Man, they bent your ass right over on that one. That's bullshit. That ain't right. I said, if push came to shove, and they were going to try and bend me over like that, I would get my hands on Freon. It can be done. It just, you know, I'd probably wind up paying twice as much for what it's worth, but it'd be worth it to me. You know, so like it's $150 to $175 just for those idiots to come to your house before they even do anything. You know, it's just bullshit. Yeah, yeah, you got dry fucked for sure, man. Not good at all. So anyway, we got that fixed. So that's one down, two to go. Still got to replace the AC unit in my car. I'm going to have to really just buckle down and do it. I don't want to. I know how to. That's not the issue. I have all the stuff I need to do it with. That I can get the Freon for because that's 134A. I just don't want to do it because it's going to suck. You know, it's if they had the compressor on top of the motor like a fucking normal car, I would have had it fixed a day after it broke. You know, but because I got it underneath the engine, I got to take the tire off, passenger front tire off, possibly the inner fender well. You know, it's going to be a pain. Of course, I got a new compressor, a new dryer assembly, and a new what do you call it? I can't think of the fucking valve that goes in there in the line. Plus all new O-rings and all that stuff. So I'm got everything like I said I need to do to get it done. It's just I hate getting out my back underneath the car. That's my biggest issue. But I gotta take care of that at some point. And yeah, that's a good point, Sean. That's expensive too. 14,000. It might be that much here too. Like I said, I haven't priced a lot of stuff for a long time. Last I heard, it was close to 10. You know, it probably is 14. It might even be 20,000 now, for all I know. And you're right, though. They don't work when you get 4 below, but it doesn't get that cold here, thank God. You know, we might see 20s on a rare occasion for a short period of time, but most of the time it's really low 40s, high 30s at best, at worst, rather, as far as the cold goes. And of course, the heat, well, the heat can go right on up to, you know, 112, 115, even though they don't report it on the news that way. But if you have your own thermometer in the shade, you'll find out what it really is. Thomas says they'll bend your ass and kiss it goodbye. Well, that's true, Digger. I mean, it's the only problem. It's the only bitch I really got with the car, you know? It's a big Grand Marquis. It's very easy to work on. And most things are out in the open. You know, at least they put the alternator on top of the motor. And it literally is. It's a dead set at the top of the motor. I would have rather had the AC pump there and put the alternator down on the bottom. That's what they used to do with them. But for some reason, oh, let's switch them around, you know. And of course, the AC pumps don't last as long because they're getting wet constantly. They're getting road debris. There's a lot more heat and vibration down there because it's very close to the exhaust. I mean, it's really designed to fail, you know. And the car only has like a 90,300 miles on it. Original miles. I got the car only had 13,000 on it. And I got it in 2010. It was my dad's car. He bought it brand new in 4. He never drove it, you know. Love the car, but I'll tell you what. I am not used to not having air conditioning. I've always had air conditioning in all the cars I've had since I was like in my mid-20s, you know. I got very spoiled. I gotta have air conditioning. Ken says, not really. They spent a week doing new ducting in second floor and 1 week on the basement unit. 2 4-ton units, one 96% furnace, the other one 85%. All right, well, that's a pretty big job then. Yeah, the ductwork is probably what killed you, you know. So I don't have to worry about any of that. All my ductwork is fine. And, you know, because that's what I did to my dad. He got a new, I had put a brand new Rude 4-ton unit in there 3 years prior to when he started getting the Alzheimer's. Well, I had already moved out. And actually, my daughter and her husband at the time, they moved into the front and rented it from my dad. Well, my dad like I said, he was starting to, you know, not really think for himself anymore. And I wish my daughter would have had better sense, but I don't think she knew. Anyway, he got one of those advertisements, the summer tune-up deals. You know, we'll come to your house, check your system for like $35 or something. Well, those things are all a scam. So they came down and looked at it. The unit's about 3 or 4 years old tops. I myself put it in along with a friend who was an AC tech. We did all the duct work. We did returns. We did the whole 9 yards. We had a thing called an ESP unit. It was a heat recovery unit for the air conditioner that provided free hot water while the AC was running. It was a beautiful system. Very inexpensive to run. Well, these fucking jackhats talked my dad into replacing the unit. They took out my 4-ton, put in a 2.5-ton, ripped out all my fucking rigid ductwork, put in flex, which is garbage in comparison. Turns out that the air handler up in the attic was used. It wasn't even new. And they charged them $4,200 for it. Well, I didn't find out about it until after they had already done the job. I was so mad. Like, you know, what were you thinking? Well, he said it was no good. I said, they lied to you. You know. So they actually called. This was a few years later. I moved back into the front of the house, and that AC never worked right, man, because it was too small for the house for one. And like I said, I don't know what the piece of shit they put up in the attic. I had a friend go up there and look at it, and he said, man, he took pictures of it and showed me the fucking thing was used. I mean, really used. So I was pissed. So anyway, these same assholes called up again. I guess they figured they could get them for another $4,000 or so, right? Well, I answered the phone, right? So, you know, who you guys? Oh, you know, we're the ones who did your air conditioning. I said, really? You the ones that put in a 2.5-ton? He said, yeah, why? I said, why don't you come over here? I got something for you. He said, what do you mean? I said, you step foot on my property, I'll put a fucking bullet in your face. You ripped off my dad. And if I ever see you, I'm not very likely to kill you. I said, what you did was fucking illegal as shit. And just, you know what? People like you need to burn in hell. What are you talking? I said, look, motherfucker, I put in the fucking Rude unit that you took out. It was only 4 years old. There was nothing wrong with that system. You ripped out all the returns we had in every room. You ripped out the ESP unit that provided free hot water. What the fuck were you thinking? You know? I know what you were thinking. You saw an old man couldn't think for himself anymore, and you bent him over. And I'm telling you, come on my property, I'll fucking kill you. Click. He fucking hung. I never heard from him again. I was so mad. Yeah, I got that kind of air conditioning too in the car right now. It's called the 460 air conditioner. Four windows down, 60 miles an hour. It's not the same, though. Hey, Derek, how's it going? Good to see you here. Let's see, what else we got going here? Ken says this was done by the company my wife works for, and they were actually around $7,000. Jesus Christ, man. Where do you live again? Hey, sounds like it's real expensive to live up there. Hey, Georgia Sunbelt, Anthony, how you doing? Good to see you here. Yeah, it's a shame that miss anybody here. Anybody sneaking out? Dundas Junction, Marlboro. James, how's it going? Almost missed you there. Good to see you here. And that's what happens when I get to yakking, right? They miss anybody else? I think that's everybody. Yeah, so I don't know what it is with air conditioning lately. I've had the worst luck. And I can't handle the heat. I mean, I hate to sound like a wuss, but it really is true. I cannot handle the heat at all. You're in Maryland? Oh, yeah, okay. It's very expensive up there, man. Nah, I feel for you. Not that it's a whole lot better down here, though. Andy says the only AC we have here is a squadron of moths going around the light bulb. That's bad. But it's kind of funny, though. Excuse me. Kevin says, I really like having a rigid duct in my house. I also really like having two fireplaces. I only got one fireplace, and we do use it. It's actually cheaper, and I like it better than the heat anyway, you know, in the air conditioning. But, yeah, I've got all rigid duct in the house now. And, you know, it's the way to go because it's much more efficient than the flex tubing. But it's more expensive than the flex, and that's why these guys rip out all the rigid and put in the flex so they can make quick money, and they charge probably the same price as the rigid anyway. But you know, I said I hate when somebody fucks me over. I really do. You know, I really wanted to kill that motherfucker. If it wasn't illegal to kill somebody, he'd be dead. I'd have hunted him down and killed him. That would have been the end of it. Thomas says, I sent you an email. Okay, I'll check that out later. All right. Oh, yeah, I wanted to show you guys something while I had it here. Dwight was talking about his Coca-Cola machine. This is the one I got in the above-ground train station. It's lit up. I didn't do anything to it except, you know, hook up the wires to lighting, but it doesn't look too damn bad, actually. I get good there. You got the same one there, Dwight, I'm thinking? If you did, these are nice. It was expensive, though. I think I paid $20 for the damn thing. I don't know why I bought it, because I really didn't need it, but I'll get out of this thing. They get some of the stupidest things. Thomas More, look what I seen in Paducah. Oh, that's kind of cool. Check it out. That's what Thomas More sent me. Nice. So, oh man. Kevin says we have one fireplace in the living room, and the other is in the basement, directly below the one in the living room. That's kind of cool. Yeah, we have a single-story house, so one in the living room. I don't know why they didn't do it. They should have made it like a go-through, because our master bedroom is right behind the living room, and the fireplace is in the corner. They could have bricked off that section of the bedroom too, and had like a pass-through fireplace. That would have been cool. I don't have the money to do it. Otherwise, I would kick that around, because that would be nice to, you know, sleep under a fire, right? All right, Sean. Well, thanks for popping in, man. And we'll see you later. And have a good weekend and a safe one. We'll see you next time. I didn't see a ginger ale machine. All they had was Coke and Pepsi. I think they had 7 Up too. I'm not sure. But I thought the Coke would probably be fine. I should have bought a Pepsi because I have a Pepsi plant down on the other end. Which you'll see in a minute. Ken says they ran flex in the attic and rigid downstairs. I'll replace all flex with insulated board that keeps you from losing so much heat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not that expensive, not really. Especially if you do it yourself. I said I had a friend, he was originally a duct mechanic for an AC company, and he had graduated to tech, so I mean he was able to help me out with, running the nitrogen through it, cleaning it out, and leak checking it, put Freon in there. But he did all the duct work because he had the tools. They have some specific tools for cutting the duct. Nice stuff if you got them. Makes the job look very professional. I didn't have that stuff. Derek says if you have a Pepsi plant, you need a Coca-Cola plant too. It's like left and right quick. You're probably right, but I got no place to put it. Well, that's not bad. 10-year warranty. That's pretty good. I can't remember. I think I had 10 years on the root units I bought. I was working for an AC outfit at the time, a supply house. And we were allowed to buy 1 unit per, I think every 5 years you could buy a unit at cost. So I got the condenser and air handler for I think it was like $800. That was the actual cost of it. So I didn't have to pay any, there was no markup on it at all. I got it at cost. It was a hell of a deal, so I jumped on it, And I've installed a couple of air conditioners since then. Like I said, when I was able to get the Freon, the old ones used 22, R22 in them. I had 4 or 5 jugs, 30-pound jugs of R22, so that was never an issue. I always had the other stuff, the vacuum. I never blew the nitrogen through it, although I'm supposed to. But I really couldn't tell the difference, and those units are still working today, almost 30 years later. So, And I started out actually doing them in cars. I was doing all car air conditioning. So, I know what I'm doing for the most part. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good warranty. That really is. So anyway, going on to the next thing. What was the next thing we're talking about? Oh yeah. Who the hell sent me this picture? I forgot already. Anyway, check out this picture. This really happened. No, it was Bernard C. He's not in here yet. He didn't get a chance to tell me. I guess it happened where he lives, and I'm not sure where he lives. But this was a pretty big mess. Train derailment. There you go. Look at that mess. They look like grain cars. And there's grain everywhere and twisted wreckage. That's a massive derailment. Not good at all. He'll probably have some more pictures for him if he shows up later. I don't know. Hey, I thought that was interesting to see, though. Try a different view here, right? The side view. Hey, you can see the trains better too now, but let's see. Yeah, everything's going good for a change. Knock wood. If I only felt 100%, would be perfect. All right, so that takes care of that. I'm actually starting to write stuff down. I find it easier when I write things down. Now, I have done some work on my layout, amazingly. A little bit today and a little bit yesterday, even though I'm not feeling great. But I says, if I don't do something soon, I'm never going to. So, I remember what I said last week. I said I'm going to sit here and stare at the layout for a while and try and figure out what I want to do and where I want to make the changes. Well, I figured it out. There's really only one place I can really make any realistic changes at the moment. Now, that may change down the road. I might find some other things to do, but what I did, I'm going to show this quick video that I shot. It's only a few minutes long, so check it out. Alright, well, what we've got going on here is some reconstruction. I narrowed the lot. This was all green over here. Now it's not. I'm going to move the tree line over to the edge of the grass. There's all the trees. And I moved the Porta-John manufacturing plant over to the left some more, so I can put something over there. I'm not sure what yet. And same thing, I lifted all the buildings here, tore out a section of track that was coming from over there. I took the turnout out. I got to put a straight section in. I removed the track all the way down because I felt it was unnecessary. And blacktopped it all the way to the edge of this bridge here. I've got to repair the road over there yet. Not quite sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I'll get on that. The Pepsi plant will stay where it's at, but I'm probably going to move some industry or something in here. Move all this stuff out of the way. So that's one of the things I started doing because I needed to make some changes. Also, by my house, I put up a telephone pole with a transformer because there's actually one on the corner of my property. So I haven't strung these yet, and it'll probably be a while before I do that. I've got a non-transformer pole here, and there'll be several others. But I did have to move the road over a little bit. I'm probably going to narrow it some, I think. I'll be running poles all the way down here to supply power to the cell tower. That'll be a necessity. And I think the rest of them I'm just going to leave alone for the moment. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I fucked that up, didn't I? Sorry about that, guys. Damn it! I gotta start over again. It sucks being a second. My mind's off somewhere else. As you saw in the video, where my road is, I told you I was going to narrow. The real road out there is only about a car wide, a little over a car wide. So if you had two cars coming at each other, somebody's going to have to pull over the side of the road to let the other car through. That doesn't happen often, but when it does, whoever gets there first, they get the right of way, and the other guy has to, rear off to the side to let the other guy pass. You should be able to hear everything now, I hope. So, the reason I had to do that, I had to move the road because the power poles. Now, the power poles actually come all the way down, which after you pass 17, on the layout there, which is the real road, the power poles go across the street to the other side of Shelton. I need to smell the coffee. I don't know if that'll help or not. So they'll run all the way up to near the cell tower, because that's where they run in real life. Now, all our power lines here are all underground, so I don't have to worry about stringing wires to the house. Just the from pole to pole, I'll have to string wires. Like I said, I'm not sure when I'm going to do that. That'll probably be one of the last things I do, because they kind of get in the way when you're doing other things. You know, if you got power lines to deal with. Which brings me up to another thing that I want to talk about too. I fooled around with a lot of power poles, and these are okay. It's not what I wanted, so that's why I didn't use them. Oh, wrong camera. Try this camera here. There we go. These here, the insulators were a little shorter than I wanted, but they've got the eyelets on them, which is nice. These are the non-transformer ones. And I have a whole bunch of these. Let's say I got 4. Oh, shit. Well, let me put it this way. Here's another bundle. And another bundle. I got a lot of them. And here's a bundle, mostly ones with transformers on them. And the only reason I didn't use these is because the transformers are a little bit shorter than what I originally wanted. They still work. But if anybody's interested in this mess, give me $10 for them. I'll even throw in the shipping. Out again. Hold on just a minute. Oh, there you go. Just came back on it. I got to get a new mic too. I'm getting a new microphone next month. I found a couple I'm looking at. They're not cheap, but I want to get a good one. So I know more with this mini USB shit. Oh, anyway, sorry about that. So anyway, if anybody's interested in these, they said $10. I'll throw in the shipping for free. You can have them all. All you gotta do is paint them up. And so as long as you're in the country, not Canada, unfortunately, because it costs a fortune to ship out there, but any place in the United States, I'll ship it for free. So if you're interested, send me an email. You know where it's at. Down there somewhere. Coming up. There it is. Right there. I don't know what else to do with them. I have no use for them because I'm making all, excuse me, all new ones. I already showed you those. They're slightly long insulators and a slightly longer transformer. That's the only real difference in them. Actually, I did bump it, Derek. Go back over here. Let's see. Yeah, for all the telephone, I'll give you the whole bunch. $10 free shipping. All you can do is paint them up and plant them, and they got the eyelets on the top for to run your thread through, so you don't have to glue them. It's a good deal. All right, Ken. I don't know how long I'm going to be on here tonight, but we'll see. If I'm still here, I'll see you. If not, we'll see you next week. So, so that's that. And what else we got to talk about here? I showed you the video of the layout. That's good. That covers all the important things that I wanted to talk about. I'll buy. Okay, Ray, that sounds good. Yeah, whenever you want, send me an email and I'll give you instructions on how to pay me. And I think I'll need your address to give me your whole address, your name, and everything. Well, I know your name, but because I don't think I have your address on file. Oh man, the one thing, the ginger ale actually helped soothe my throat a little bit for a short period of time. Of course, Coca-Cola does the same thing, but I had a bottle of Coca-Cola with actual from Mexico, with cane sugar in it. My wife bought it, sat in my fridge for about 4 months. And I saw it the other day, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna drink that son of a bitch. It was good, but it was also like $5 fucking. You know, one of those things. I think they're what, 12 ounces or 11 ounces? And it was a small bottle, a short one. Crazy money. Free virus for every poll. No viruses. I get enough of that shit going on. Tom says, Jim, I drink green tea, ginger, and honey when I have a cough. That's actually pretty good, except that I can't drink the honey. Messes with one of my medications, believe it or not. You know, otherwise that's exactly what I do. I drink a lot of the what the hell's that stuff? Fuck. It's a tea, but it's got something I can't remember what it's called now. Anacacia or some damn thing like that. I don't remember the exact name, but it's good for you too. I need to go tomorrow. I'm gonna go buy some. I'm making trees on my steam. I hope. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, they'll come out good. Oh, excuse me, I'm getting ready to sneeze. Or not. I made all my trees on the printer. They came out great. Out of curiosity, how much for corn stalks like you sent today? Well, I got, the hell did I give them? I got $3 per square. The squares, I think, 3 by 5 inches. There's several hundred on, maybe 100 on them. I'm not sure. Never counted them. But I call it a plate. Each plate was $3. And you have to tell me how much room you want to use up, and I can figure it out. Because the best way to do it is leave them on the plates. Glue your plates down on a flat surface, next to each other. With nice, neat rows. And just throw some dirt on there or something. Like Dave threw real dirt down. So you couldn't see the actual base plates. And it came out really nice. And I think he airbrushed them. Misted them or something like that with an airbrush. So yeah, just figure $3 a plate. Yeah, if I had whiskey, I probably would. But I don't have any. I have no alcohol in the house, Tom says, Jim, I have an electrical box that goes on the side of the house or building. If you want to do that, let me know. I got some here, but if you got the file, send it to me anyway. It might be better or different than what I've got. Because I'll resin print those. Because, yeah, I really should put them on the 2 houses that are, representing my area here. That would be cool. Yeah, Stephen, you're probably right about that. Bourbon is the answer. Think about alcohol, it sterilizes everything, When I was a young man, on the rare occasion I got the flu, I'd go buy a case of beer and get hammered. Wake up in the morning, good as gold. I mean, it worked. A lot of people thought I was nuts and said, well, I wouldn't have been able to sleep otherwise because I was just in agony. Have a slug of whiskey before you make your trees white. There you go. Oh, man. I forgot how much fun a cold wasn't. It's not fun at all. Tell you what, I'm going to pop open another ginger ale. Because it really does help my throat. So that's what I've been doing for the last couple of days. Good. It wasn't much, but it was a start. Now I kind of feel like I want to, it gave me a little push, which I needed to, what do you call it? Can't think of the damn word now. Sucks getting old. The motivation. I needed a little motivation to get started. And that kind of did it for me, so now I kind of want to get in there and do more. Now I'm going to do a lot more what you saw in the video. I got a lot of holes where the trees were. Those are all going to get filled in. I got some wall plaster here, spackling. Fill in all the holes, any seams that are there, make it all nice and smooth, and then repaint it again. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, just prep work. Now I want to put in, I'm going to get the static grass applicator out on the far end there where the road is, I got to repair that road too and eliminate the railroad signs. But there's a small area there which is technically brown right now for dirt. I'm going to put the static grass in there. Just a little square area, probably. Excuse me. Damn it. It's about maybe 4 inches by 4 inches square. The static grass that'll make that look a lot better. I think even on the other side of the road too, I might static grass all that. I got a ton of static grass actually, so I bought some a few months ago from Temu. And I got quite a bit, really. It was really cheap. So hopefully I can get some things accomplished. And I should hopefully have another video to show on next week's show of what I've accomplished so far. Super trees, yeah. Yeah, you got it. Get motivated. I couldn't think of a damn word. That's something I don't have, Dwight. I don't have any gas meters. Which I probably should get one because on my house, for real, I have the gas stove. And the gas tank is out back. I need to probably make a small gas tank too, propane tank. And put the meter on the side of the house, which actually is there. That's a pretty cool idea. I didn't think of that. Thanks for cluing me in on that one. Well, I said, a lot of little detail shit like that I need to take care of. So now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, I'm going to do that too. So, did you know if your house has a gas line, it's a bomb? Well, I'm not fed by the city. I have a 150-pound tank out back in the backyard. If it were to blow, it would probably do some damage to the guest house. I don't think it would damage my house because it's too far away. As far as the line goes, it's just a small 3/8-inch line, copper line that goes underground to my house and then in through the side wall to the stove. They're relatively safe. They really are. I don't even worry about that. Now, when I lived in Naples many, many, many years ago, the guy across the street, they tore that house down, and even there anymore. But the guy's name was Pansner. They were from Ohio. They used to go back to Ohio every year to get the license plates for the car because he couldn't get a driver's license down there. He'd never passed the eye. He was blind as a bat, you know. But anyway, so he would go up north every year to get new tags and see family members and stuff. Well, he went away one time, and this was during the day. We were all sitting around outside, and we had a massive explosion. Like a fucking grenade went off or something. It was bad, right? So what the hell was that, you know? So we started looking around, and there was a lot of dust behind Pansner's house. Well, he had a big 250-pound tank right up against the back wall. I don't know what happened, and we never found out, but it blew up. It took out 2 walls of the house. He had to come back early and pay somebody to fix the new walls, you know. That was back when insurance actually covered things. After that happened, my dad had a gas stove in the back apartment. Well, not anymore after that. He said, we're not having none of that shit. So he took it out and had my uncle run the wires for an electric stove in the back kitchen. And he bought an electric stove back there, and that was the end of the gas thing. Of course, back in those days, too, this is back in the early 80s, like 81, 82. They were still using pilot lights on a lot of gas stoves. And of course, if that light went out, that little flame went out, and if you had enough gas, you know, contained in the house, you flip the light switch, boom, it's just a bomb. I mean, you should theoretically be able to smell it if it's that concentrated. See, the new ones now, they're electric. Now, if I turn the electric off to my stove, you can't start it unless you start it manually with a lighter. But it won't even let gas through until it detects the flame. I'm not sure how they work, but you can't just turn it on, it won't leak. If it doesn't ignite, it shuts the gas off at the burner. And so they're all electric igniters now. They don't use a pilot light like in the old days, so they're a lot safer. So, you know. Yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah. If they'd have been, well, they probably would have died because their bedroom was back there. And yeah, I think they would have been killed. We still kept the gas though. We had a new tank put in. Like I said, chances are there's supposed to be a valve in there that's supposed to prevent that from happening. I think the valve malfunctioned and off it went, you know. Or like I said, maybe the pilot light went out. And a lot of people, when they go away like that, they leave the air conditioner on. You know, just keep the house from getting all musty. When the AC kicked on, that could have created the ignition to set off the gas if there was a gas leak. Well, like I said, we never found out what caused it, but kind of some scary shit though, you know. Nowadays too, I mean, I'm surprised that my tank is as close to the house as it is. Because I know, well, at least in Collier County, Naples, the code says you have to be, I think it's either 50 or 75 foot, the tank has to be away from the house. In other words, they like to put them right on the property line. Whether it's above ground or underground, doesn't matter. It has to be near the property line, away from structures. Which, you know, makes sense, because in the old days, they used to put the fucking thing right up against the house. So, yeah, if something happens, well, there goes half your house, you know. Yeah, I think that's how it works, Derek. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure, but I do, like I said, the gas stove in my house is, well, it's fairly new. Late 90s anyway. And without the electricity, it won't leak gas unless you get some sort of heat source, which would make sense. Like a match or a lighter, it will eventually kick. It takes about, I think, 20 seconds or something like that before the gas comes on for it to kick, and then it does. It's a smart system, you know. It's a lot smarter than the old pilot lights. Because I remember as a kid, My aunt in New Jersey, she had an old gas stove. And they should have replaced it. I mean, it never blew up, but constantly the pilot lights would go out in it. And she'd start smelling the gas. They had a main valve for the gas right in the house. And turn the valve off, open the windows, air the place out a little bit. Then they would turn the gas back on, relight the pilots, and it'd be good until the pilot went out again. But if the pilot went out, it would still leak gas. It took forever to get any real concentration, but they were still dangerous as shit. So I said, fortunately, they did fix that problem. Hey, Tom, Stranger Things. Tom, what's going on, man? Yeah, Derek. Put it next to the neighbor's house. Yeah, blow up their fucking house instead. All right. Yeah, it's bad. But, you know. Well, fortunately, as I said, down there, most of the houses were probably 30, 40, even 50 foot away from the property line. You know, so, I mean, it does minimize the problems. Like I said, if it's right up against the house, well, you're going to have a problem. Because I was thinking about putting a whole house generator in and buying a propane generator instead of gasoline. Because the propane won't go bad on you. You know, gas will go bad if you don't use it within a certain period of time. The thing, I couldn't afford a diesel because diesel's really the way to go, but I could go with propane. But I looked into it and it's like, Jesus Christ, all these regulations and rules and, you know, it would have wound up costing me like $20,000 to put a propane generator and tank and all that stuff in the house. All the permits and, you know, what ain't worth it. So that's pretty much the way that went. But so let's see what else we got going there. So yeah, that pretty well covers the layout. Oh, and Ray, if you need more of those poles, let me know. I can make you more of them. You know, if you do need them, say down the road or something, I'll give you an equally good deal on them. I just hate to throw them away because, you know, money spent no matter how you look at it. So hopefully I'll find some more things to do on the layout, but that's a start anyway. And even my wife, she says, you know, I didn't think you were even interested in trains anymore because you haven't touched the damn thing in, you know, like 6 months. I go, yeah, I know. It's not that I lost interest. It's just that between my back screwing up and now I'm sick and, you know, the money issue, that was a big issue, of course, because putting together money for property taxes, they're paid finally. And everything was happening, boom, 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 and it was really cutting into my time here. Plus, which through my own fault, I'm spending more time doing wise guy videos and the live streams than I was actually working on my layout. And then on top of that, I'm 3D printing for everybody, which I don't mind doing it, but you know, I need to work it so that I can still do that stuff, but also work on my layout. You know, it's possible to do both in most cases. So, but like I said, it was getting to the point where even I was kind of getting where it's like, you know, why am I not, where's my motivation? Like it went away for a while there. Well, I got it back after today, so good to go. Because realistically, you need motivation to work on. You really do, you know. And a lot of guys, see, they run the same problem. They get burnt out, you know, or just lose their motivation for whatever reason. May not touch their layout for a year, you know. I can't remember who. There was a couple guys that did that recently. You know, you don't hear nothing. So what have you been doing? Oh, you know, I was doing this and that. I just had to step away from my layout. I haven't touched it in almost a year, you know. That sucks. But, you know, it happens because, like I said, at some point in time, you're either going to run out of ideas or run out of motivation. One of the two are bound to hit you, you know. Or worse, you run out of money. Or even worse than that, you run out of all three. That usually doesn't happen though. But of course, the money's also a big issue. I mean, yeah, I watched Tom's show Friday. He was talking about some of the kits they have, and you know, I mean, if you can afford them, that's great. But I'm looking at that, like, it's a cold day in hell. We're all spent $175 on a kit, for a few pieces of wood. I mean, realistically, you could probably buy scrap wood for 10 or 20 bucks, but you'd have to have the wherewithal to be able to put it together and make something useful out of it. So you'd almost have to be a builder of sorts, but you could save a whole lot of money by scratch building, even wood structures. I mean, yeah, the kits are probably more fun and easier to do because you don't have to think that much. More skill than thought. But, that's it. It's just crazy money. And even the price of the trade cards got nuts, Hey, it'll be a cold day in hell before I spend $80, $90, or $100 on a rail car. That ain't going to happen. I don't give a damn what it is, I mean, locomotives, obviously, but for a rail car, no. I'm not spending that kind of money on them. I'll either buy used ones or I'll print up my own. Derek says, I spend too much time watching everyone's live streams and videos that I'm not. Yeah, that happens too. That's why, although I got an excuse for that because I really haven't been, or I don't have an excuse rather. I really haven't been watching too many live streams. I mean, I watch Tom's show on Monday. I watch Tom's show on Wednesday. I watch On Track Tuesday. I try and catch it every week when whoever's running it, whether it be Robert or Wilmer or Dave or the what's his face there, Tony. I like those guys and I enjoy watching their shows. Short of that, I really don't watch them. I mean, I try and watch Artie's when I get a chance, but it's hard. I like to watch Tom Grassie's when he's on Wednesday, but it conflicts with Tom. I can always watch the replay. Sometimes I do. But there's only so many hours in a week, and once again, if I spend all my time watching everybody's shows, when the hell am I going to have time to get anything done here? So, and then, of course, real life gets in the way as well. So, it's difficult for anybody, I think, or everybody to try and catch all these live streams and, videos and everything else. And really, it's tough, And maybe that's why the shorts do so well. It robs you a minute of your time, not a big deal. You kind of get an idea what's going on and you go about your business. And that's probably why the shorts garner so many more new subs rather than the actual, 1 hour, 2 hour videos. Joe says, I must watch the Saturday morning show. Who's on Saturday? That's, I know, but I can't think of who it is. See, now I watch Dave Thurber's Morning Brew on Thursdays. Even though it's kind of tough on my schedule because generally I'll sleep till 9 o'clock, which is when he comes on. Gotta eat breakfast, gotta go take a shower. Then I gotta come out here and try and get some things accomplished. Have an early dinner at 4 o'clock. Hopefully I got everything scheduled and ready to go here for my 6 o'clock debut. Thursday is probably the worst day for trying to get anything done other than organize for my show. But I enjoy his show so much that, and sometimes he'll run, 2-3 hours. I don't think he's ever gone more than 3 hours, but, I think he had a short one. I think it was a little over an hour. But he's been known to run a little bit, close to 2 hours, and sometimes even a little over. And he says, stuff here. Most of us live start at midnight. Oh yeah, for you guys because your time is different. Damn coughing. That's the worst part of being sick, is the coughing. Well, I know some of you guys, what was it, Artie, he catches my show, it's like the start of his day in Australia. You know. And hey, good morning. He said, what do you mean? He says, it's nighttime or whatever. Or whatever, it's just different, It's like, oh, shit. But, yeah, the time change also makes it tough, too, for some of these things. Said initially I wanted to do 8 o'clock, but the 8 o'clock slot wasn't available. It's probably just as well, because I'd probably be running until 1 o'clock in the morning, right? But, so I had to settle for 6, and that's fine. It kind of works out. But, some of you guys are eating dinner, or you're getting home from work. So, I don't see the big numbers of chat people coming in that some of the guys do. And Derek said, Gerald, I just noticed you have the Santa Stewart icon on your Gerald Stewart name. You still running that on there? Oh, yeah. Hey, well, he's Santa Claus. He can do what he wants, right? Thomas Morris said, Jim, I was sick as a damn dog last week. Well, whatever it is, it's all over the country. Some people are saying it might be that RSV. I don't necessarily believe that. It could be, but hey, OTR, how's it going, man? It could be that, but I don't know. Like I said, ever since COVID, nobody gets the common cold anymore. Nobody even gets the flu. Like they just went away. I don't believe it, And I think that's all I got is just a damn cold. It's been many, many years since I've had a cold, but as I remember, this is what it was like, It's different from the flu because the flu attacks your whole body. I don't have any aches and pains or all that stuff, joint pain, all that stuff. Body's fine. Mostly in the sinuses and in my throat. So, of course, like I said, though, too, I try and keep my health tip-top immunity-wise. And I'm very proactive when I think I'm starting to get sick. Boom, I'm taking something. I'm not going to wait and see what happens. With my wife, she'll wait till she's, got one foot in the grave and, I better take something. Yeah, you should have done that a week ago. Gerald says, I have not changed it back yet. Okay, we'll accept that. Eric says, it looks good, but I'm just used to this icon on the side. Okay. Hey, ELW Trains, how's it going, man? Good to see you here. Well, you might have had something else, Thomas. Like I said, I've been lucky that I haven't gotten anything else, any other symptoms. My wife got the bad headache, so did my mother-in-law. I don't get headaches. I don't know why. I haven't had one since I had the stroke, so whatever caused that cured itself somehow. But what I've got is more sinus issues and a sore throat. They said, by all intents and things, like I said, it's just a common cold. And hopefully it'll be gone in a few days and I'll be back to normal. We'll have to wait and see. Migraine, yeah. That's what I said. My wife, she's a bad headache. She had to take, pain reliever for it. Where, like I said, I don't get headaches. Knock wood. So that's right. Back on track. I couldn't think of that. Thanks, Gerald. On a rare occasion, I'll catch the replay on that, but it's. I'll be honest, it's a very rare occasion. Like I said, I wish I could see more, have more time for it, but it just, not to make excuses, but I don't have much of a life, but I still have something, And unfortunately, there seems like there's always something to do. The hell is that? Should check outlasting benefits. Maybe check with the death distributor first. Supposed to have rejuvenation product properties. Okay. Not familiar with any of that. Oh, it's fasting. Okay. Now, see, I'm diabetic, so I have to be careful with fasting. Otherwise, I crash. Thomas's boxcar Jerry's on back. Is he really? I wasn't aware. Wasn't aware of that. You know, like I said, I don't really get to watch it much. Yeah. Go back to that side view again. You can get a better look at the trains, right? Not just looking at my ugly mug. So, Derek said that's a great show with Claude, Steve, and Dennis. Okay, that makes sense. Where'd they go? Why isn't it coming up? Alright, why isn't it coming up? That's weird. Well, I guess I lost my on-screen chat. That's very weird. Hey, well, I don't know what happened there, but apparently I lost my... oh, I know why. It's not set up to work on this screen. I have to go back to this screen. And then I can bring it up. I forgot about that. There we go. That's, let's see, I gotta duplicate that with this here. Copy. Go here. Paste duplicate. There we go. All right, now I got it on both screens. There we go. I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working because I only had it set up for one screen, one camera. I got it set up for both. Okay, we're good. OTR says off to see the insurance doctor today. Been off work for 2 years now. Lawyers are roughing them up. How'd you get hurt on the job, man? That sucks. It's a long time to be out of work, though. 2 years. I think I'd have a tough time wanting to go back to work after that long of a time without it. Does Bill and Jerry also come on the show? Okay. Oh man. Going 7:30. We're probably only gonna go to 8 o'clock and that's it. Again, matter of fact, I guarantee I'm not going past 8 o'clock. Darken the screen up a little bit too. This one here. And there we go. A little too bright. Machine accident, poor safety. Yeah, that happens, unfortunately. It's real easy to get hurt on the job, you know, in a lot of cases. I got lucky. I never really got seriously hurt at work. No, actually, I'm not because I'm on OBS now and it's unlimited. I'm only limited on StreamYard. But since I got the OBS working again, because you know, you don't see the StreamYard bird up there. So, I mean, if I need to use StreamYard, it's there for me to use. And I probably should use it at least once a month so I can invite a guest in. Because unfortunately, I can't bring guests into OBS. But I finally got this chat overlay working properly, so And that was the biggest problem I had with OBS prior to this anyway. We finally got it working. What I did different, I'm not really sure, but it seems to fix the problem, so. But yeah, you only get 20 hours a month with StreamYard unless you pay for it. But if you can do a subscription on that, it's $20 a year, or a month rather. You got to pay a year in advance. It's like, screw that. And if you don't do a subscription, it's $25 a month, and you just pay month to month. That's a lot of damn money, man. More than I want to pay anyway. Rumble Studios, yeah, exactly. Well, I've got the Rumble Studios set up, sort of. 'Cause I got the invite about the same time you did, Tom. I just haven't used it yet. And I'm kind of saving it until, if things turn to shit on YouTube, and I'm sure they're going to, then I'll go right over to Rumble. But until that happens, I think I'll just stay here on YouTube. The way I'm going, I'll probably get booted off at some point anyway. So far, I've got one strike and a number of warnings. You know, it just, you know, it's ridiculous. You got to step on eggshells on YouTube, and it shouldn't be that way. It's just stupid. You know, where Rumble, you can say or do anything you damn well want. They don't care. It's the way it should be. Derek says you don't usually bring on guests because you're entertainment. I don't know if I'd go that far. I know, just like you do, Tom, but... And yes, I could say hang them. I say it on here anyway. I really don't care. He said, eventually they're probably going to kick me off of YouTube. In which case, I'll go right to Rumble, and that'll be the end of that. But until that happens, it's... The only problem I got with the simulcasting is they're multi-streaming. And I noticed it with yours. When you're doing both, Rumble hangs up constantly. You have to refresh it constantly. When you were on Wednesday, I think I had to refresh it like 6 times because it would either freeze up or it would start at the very beginning like as in a replay. I'm sure they're aware of it. They just haven't figured it out yet. You know. Hopefully they'll get that worked out, and that'll make things a lot better too. But right now, that's my only real beef about it, is the fact that that happens. Opera says, I gotta do more stuff. Struggle to find 20 hours of stuff to talk about. I live vicariously through others. Yeah, that happens more often than not, too. Gerald says it's so stupid that strikes him forever. Yeah, well, I don't think they actually are, though, are they? I mean, I know if you get 3, you're banned for life. But what would really, how could they prevent you from just coming up with a new channel name and, you know, using a different identity? I mean, I'm sure there's ways around it, you know. Until they figure it out, then you're screwed. There's a Big Jim, get some max strength Mucinex tablets. It gets all that shit out of your lungs and quiets the cough. Yeah, I might get some of that. The cough hasn't been that bad. I mean, if you hear my wife, she sounds like she's dying. She's trying to hack up a lung or two, you know. Me, it's just like it's a quiet cough for me, and so far. But like I said, I got to go to the store tomorrow and pick up a few things. And, because I like to be proactive on it, so, you know. I damn sure don't need to get any sicker, but, I mean, I don't know where, well, I don't know where my mother-in-law got it from. She probably got it from the store or something, because I'm always taking her shop. Well, I don't really go in with her, but I'll drive her, because she doesn't drive. I'll drive her to the store, drop her off, and wait in the car. Maybe she picked it up from somebody, you know, in the store. But she was the first one to get it. And then Deb got it from her. And I thought I was going to get away with it because, you know, me and Deb share a bed. I was like, you know, we're breathing on each other all the time. We're always in close contact, and you figured I should have gotten sick a lot quicker, but I didn't. So, but I almost guarantee if she gets sick, I will at some point follow her. It just always seems to happen. DLW Train says, Derek, I use that stuff. It sure cleared me and wife up in a couple of days. Great stuff. Yeah, I'm going to go get some of that tomorrow, guaranteed. Google knows your emails. Well, that's true. But I'm sure there's a way around things somehow. I mean, you'd have to really cover up your true identity. It'd be more of a pain in the ass than it's worth, you know. All right, Andy. Well, listen, thanks for popping in, and have a good night's sleep and a good and safe weekend. And we'll see you next time. The Max Strength is expensive, but it works great. Glad you're both better. Yeah, I'm definitely going to pick some up. Besides, I'm basically out of money. Paying my taxes really just took the majority of my money this month. My own fault, because I should have been put a little bit away every month so I wouldn't get it last minute with this massive bill. You know. Then some other things came up, and next thing you know, I got like $5 left in the bank. So I get paid tomorrow, Social Security plus my rent, that I get from the guest house, and I'll be back in the bucks again. And so there's a whole bunch of stuff I need to take care of, starting with me. Google knows everything. I was researching fasting. Next day, my wife is getting keto ads. Yeah, I know. Even if you're not on the web, they listen to your phone. If you're talking to a friend and you don't have the internet on, but your phone's within earshot, yeah, I've had it happen too many times. Like, son of a bitch, So they really are listening. Somebody is. Something. Oh yeah, you'd have to use everything different, man. It would. They said it'd be kind of a massive undertaking. And I'm sure a few people have done it and succeeded. I don't know if it'd be worth the effort for me to do it or not. I mean, like I said, if they got that much of a fucking problem with what I talk about, then fuck them. I don't care. Well, I gotta be honest with you, ELW. I don't know anybody who enjoys being sick. There might be somebody out there, but I'm not aware of it. Tom says, Google had all my credit cards on file when we wanted to use Google Pay at Chick-fil-A. Really? Ew, that's scary. Everything I try and do online, I use PayPal with. I don't like using my debit card. I don't like using credit cards either. I've had cards hacked already. They recently hacked my debit card. I had to get a new one again. So I use PayPal when I'm online, and I got my Gas Buddy card, which is like PayPal for gas stations. Works the same way. Use the Gas Buddy card instead of my debit card at the pump. It's third party like PayPal, so they can't really hack it. So it's a pretty good system. I found out about that, and I got that last year. Plus, I saved like 2 cents a gallon. So you get a little bit of a discount. It's a pretty good deal, really. Yeah, I guess it would, Gerald. Most of the nurses I get there, these fat, ugly old broads that, you're fat, you need to lose weight. You look in the mirror, lady? Or worse than that, some gay guy, gay nurse. They're out there. I never saved my credit card while online. They shouldn't. Well, no, they shouldn't have. And I was going to be my next question. I don't save any of my stuff on there either. with the exception of the couple of things like well, actually, they don't even use the credit card or my debit card. They go right to my bank, the uh, auto pay, which I think the only thing that's on auto pay is Comcast and my phone. Everything else I pay when I want to pay it. We'll give you a discount. No, no, no. You're not touching my fucking money. It'll be paid on time. That's all you need to know. you know. But Comcast, it's almost prerequisite. You almost have to do it. And the phone company, it's, the last two that I've been with, Simple Mobile, now I'm with Pure Talk. It's just like, it's not even an option. Oh yeah, we gotta have your debit, well, not your debit card. We gotta have your bank information on file so we can auto debit, every month. Like I said, they go right to the bank. They bypass the debit card and or credit card. So I don't mind doing that. Let's see. OTR says, feeling you've been broke for 2 years. Wife has the job to keep us going at the moment. Pretty depressing some days, but I have taken on all the house husband duties and run the house now. Yeah, well, I guess that's a fair trade, but it still sucks. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I had to quit working at 47 years old. That's when I had a stroke. Couldn't work anymore, but I miss work. To this day, I still miss work. Not so much because I didn't mind the work to begin with. I worked for myself. But the money, this, disability pay is okay. But if something goes wrong, you find yourself screwed real quick, because it just doesn't pay enough. I could make in a day, I could actually make in a week or less working than I could make all month on my disability pay. Actually, yeah, because when I was working, I was bringing in about $7,000 a month profit. I had a little bit of money put aside. I had money to get things done if something happened. I never had to worry too much. But now, quote an old thing there, it's kind of like working paycheck to paycheck. If you want to even call it that, which it really isn't. So yeah, I know exactly where you're at, but and if I could go back to work, I would. Labor's out of the question because I just don't have the physical endurance to do it anymore, and I don't think anybody would really hire me on a desk job. I wouldn't mind it though if it paid decent. I'm a pretty smart guy. I could do a lot of different things, but And then when I first got on disability, the Social Security office was trying to get me back to work. So we got a work plan where you can keep some of your check, you get a real job, and we'll still give you some of your money and see how it goes. You go, no, I'm not going there. I could barely walk. I don't have much. At that time, I didn't have much use of my right hand or my right leg. What the hell am I going to do? Not that I don't want to, but really, what can I do? Yeah, they could set me in a chair and I could be a Walmart greeter for minimum wage. That ain't going to get it for me. I ain't doing it. As far as real work, though, there really wasn't anything available. Excuse me, available for me. They'll just, yeah, it's not much. We got the kids and mortgage. Excuse me. I only last a few hours a day active, so might end up on disability. Hoping to find something part-time before. There you go. Like I said, unfortunately, the work situation right now is it's a disaster. I don't know what things are like in Australia, but here in the States, it really is a disaster. AI is taking over everything. Everything's becoming automated. A lot of good jobs are going away because employees are getting greedy. I got the auto workers union now. They're demanding even more money for nothing. jackasses in California, they want to raise the minimum wage to $50 an hour. We're talking burger flippers here. We're going to pay somebody to flip burgers for $50 an hour. You know what a Big Mac will cost? Maybe 45, $50, you know, or at the very least 25, 30. I mean, it's ridiculous, you know. You know what's going to happen. What already is. McDonald's and Burger King, they're starting to automate all their restaurants. You know, we don't need you fucking humans. We'll bring in machines. They work for free. They work 24/7. They won't go on strike. They won't make demands. They don't call in sick. You know. And unfortunately, the idiots that are demanding all this money, obviously too stupid to see it. You know, I saw it. I predicted it, you know, some years back. It's like, hey, you know, you can only bend them over so far until eventually the businesses just, they're no longer profitable. You know. And the thing, what people don't understand is, you know, even if it's $1 billion a year business, the CEOs and the owners of the company, they're not going to cut into their profits to give you more money. I mean, they should. You know, you're making that kind of money, you know, what the hell? But the bottom line is they're not going to lose one thin dime to make you feel better. So ultimately, if you get too stupid, demand more than they're willing to pay, they'll just replace you with a machine. You know. And you say, well, look what's happening with Ford. All the Ford auto workers are going to strike at that one truck plant. Now the CEOs say, well, you know, we're thinking maybe we'll move operations out of the country. Fire all the employees, we don't need them anymore. So that threat of a strike actually didn't help you guys any, you know. All you did was strike yourself out of a job. That's true, Tom, and most guys. I got lucky. You know, I went in, I applied for it. It was, you know, actually I applied for it. I think it was almost a year after I really thought I was going to get better and I'd be fine, but, you know, I was a little delusional at the time, but I went in and applied, and they did some tests on me. The Social Security office had this machine that would measure the strength of my grip, both hands. This one was like 40 pounds. This one was like 10 ounces. And I wasn't faking it. I was really trying hard to squeeze it. They saw the way I was walking. I said, no problem. You're approved. So, I mean, my disability was obvious. And my friend Joe, it took almost 3 years for him to get disability. And he had lawyers. And they were still screwing him around. Because he didn't have any outward disability that you could see. His disability was in his brain. And it's weird, and I can't say for sure he was faking it or not, but he claims he couldn't read anymore. He said, I look at the letters, they're just a jumbled mess. I don't know how to read. He had a stroke on the operating table. He had a massive heart attack. And he actually had a stroke while he was on the operating table. They didn't know it until after he recovered. By that time, the damage was done. They couldn't reverse it. So ultimately, what happened was, I said, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I can't work, you know. I said, well, he could work, but he was trying to get some free money, you know. He just couldn't read anything. I know a lot of illiterates that work just fine. But I said, didn't they take an MRI of your head? He said, oh, yeah, a couple of times. I said, well, do you have those scans? He said, no, the lawyers do. I said, you need to get a copy of that scan and take it directly to the judge. Because if you have brain damage from the stroke, it'll show up as a big black area on your brain. Like my black area is about this big, about an inch, right about here. He showed me his, the whole top of the head is black. Even though, like I said, he seems okay, he literally couldn't read, that's what he claims. He showed that MRI to the judge, boom, request approved, and he finally got it. And of course, the lawyers, they screwed around for 3 years. They got a ton of money because, you know, you get back pay when you finally get approved. Well, they got, I think, 40% of it or something like that. So, you know, they made a killing on him, and I think that's why they were doing it. Because at first, they didn't want to give him a copy of the MRI. I think they wanted to fight it for a few more years. I said, no, that ain't going to work. You need to take this directly to the judge and say, Your Honor, this is my proof that I have brain damage. You know. But yeah, in most cases, though, it can take a while. Sometimes you do need a lawyer. And so I think I just got lucky, you know. Then again, though, my ex-girlfriend, she pissed her boyfriend off. He apparently set fire to her car in her driveway. He didn't get in any trouble. I guess I couldn't prove that he did it, but supposedly fucked her up mentally so much that she had to claim disability. She actually got it. I mean, you know, between me and you, I think it's all bullshit, you know. So you pissed the guy off, he burned your car to the ground, and now you're, like what, you're a total fucking basket case that you brought onto yourself in the first place? That's a little weird. There says, Jim, you need to rev up those printers and sell some stuff, not profit, but inexpensive, and you will sell it. Well, yes and no. I mean, you know, he said, I'm not trying to bend anybody over. And sometimes if somebody wants something I can print it for, I'll make a fair amount on it, but, you know, I'm not going to try and charge somebody $30 for something that cost me a nickel to make. I'm sorry, I just can't do it, you know. I mean, if I was a ruthless asshole, yeah, maybe I could, but I'm not. You know. And I like helping people out, and it helps me a little bit, and, you know, no big deal. Plus the fact that, let's face it, I'm not going to get rich printing stuff here. Yeah, and if it was that big of a business, I wouldn't have any time to do anything else. I mean, look at Bernard from Mini Prints. You know, he gets decent money for his stuff, but he's probably putting better than 40 hours a week in, making these things, researching new things, and, you know, scanning and all. I mean, he's got an actual business going on. I don't want to get into that. That's just more than I just don't want to deal with it. But, you know, it is kind of a good idea in some ways, but then not. Yep, I'm a carpenter, so we are pretty safe from robots for a bit, but I can't just work a few hours for myself after insurance overheads it. It doesn't. Oh, that's true. But I'll tell you what, though, don't be so sure you can't be replaced. You know, now they're making these robots mobile. I'd say just a matter of time before we're all out of work. Do we have a trade shortage and no one's around to work? Well, that's true. That's true everywhere. That's the same problem here. People don't want to work here. They just don't, you know. Especially in the trades. You know, they got to get their hands dirty. You know, I can't do that. You know, this is some fucked up shit, man. Tom says, Debbie was refused. Yeah, I know. I remember you saying that she had a tough time getting it, too. Well, you know what happened? I think, you know, years and years ago, it was probably easier to get because there weren't so many people on it. Especially with the COVID and some of the other stuff going on, a lot of people saw that as an easy way to make money and not have to go to work. So I think it made it tough for everybody, especially legitimate ones. You know, if you have a legitimate disability, you know, the government was a little leery about declaring you as such because so many frauds were out there, and that's part of the problem. Like I said, my ex-girlfriend, for example. You know, nothing wrong with her, mentally or physically. You know, I just can't handle anymore. My boyfriend burned my car to the ground. I can't do anything anymore. Bullshit. You know. OTR says, I agree with Derek there. Well, like I said, there is money to be made a little bit, but like I said, I don't want to get to a point where I'm spending most of my time printing stuff, you know. I don't mind doing things every now and then, little things here and there, but if it becomes a business, that's going to take away from, you know, my layout. That's the thing about money. If you have a lot of money that you're working for, you don't have time to spend it. If you're not working, you don't have any money, so you can't spend it. But if you're working a lot, you got tons of money, but you don't have time to spend it. You're screwed no matter what, you know. Thanks to I got a scrap car from Jim, and it's gorgeous and runs great, metal wheels, and Katie shows scrap cars. Yeah, I don't have one handy here, but I mean, I do good work. You know, I don't sell crap. But I mean, if I were to sell that, really, what could I get for it? I think I sell them for $15, undecorated. Probably 20 to 25 if I have to paint it and decal it. But there's not a lot of guys who are willing to pay $25 for a 3D printed train car. So it is what it is. Hey Jim, you were just like me, a regular asshole. Well, yeah, probably. I can't deny that. Having called one all my life, so I might as well live up to it, right? Had issues finding. That's true. It's been a problem. When I was in the golf course, I that was part of my job, was hiring people. Mostly in my department, mechanicking. And these guys would come in. You could tell they were worthless just the way they carried themselves. It's like, you don't have any qualifications. Well, yeah, but so? Well, I'm not here to train you how to be a mechanic. I want a guy who's already a mechanic. I can say, take care of that, and you know what to do. If I got to hold your hand for you, I don't need you. I'll just do it myself. Well, that ain't right, man. Yeah, it is right. And a lot of them, you could just tell they were, slackers or drug addicts. Yeah, Tom, it's just crackheads or idiots these days. Crackheads come to work because they need the cash, but he steals your tools. Idiot, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's just, good help really is hard to find, And I always felt that I had a good eye for an employee, I hired people. The people I hired always worked out well for me. Because they tried to figure. Like, I hired a kid as a mechanic in the golf course. He had some knowledge, not a lot, but he had some. So I mean, I didn't, like I said, go swap out the air filter and the oil on that lawnmower. He could do it without any direction, or maybe adjust the blades. Once I showed him how to do it the first time, he did it on his own every time perfectly after that. So, but I kind of saw that in him, But, a lot of these guys come in there, literally zip, they don't know shit. They want you to teach them. And, usually the ones you teach are the ones that are going to take your job anyway, or try to. And I won't give anybody the satisfaction of doing it. In fact, my bosses used to say, hey, can you train this guy to do what you do? No. Why not? I said, because you're not replacing me with this asshole. I already know what the fuck to do. He doesn't. I'm not going to train him to take my job. What are you, stupid? Well, you're an asshole. Well, you bet your ass I am when it comes to that, I got some pliers and wrenches. And a thingamajiggy, right? Gotta have a thingamajiggy. Same when I had my shop. Once again, I had a kid work for me. He had the practical experience. He was kind of young. Well, he wasn't really a kid. He was 22 or 23 years old. He had enough mechanical experience that I could say, hey, I need you to, change the alternator on that, or put a timing belt on this. And of course, we all had, we had data sheets and stuff to show you how to do it, because nowadays all the cars are different. I mean, there's no way you can really retain all that information. And I paid him piecework. He said, look, here's the deal. He said, here's the job. You'll get 25% of the job that I charge. If you work fast and you do it right, you'll make more money. If you work a little slower, you'll make a little less money. So it's on you whether you work fast or not. And he was not bad. He was fairly quick to do the work. But I said, here's the thing. I said, I don't care how fast you get it done. I don't even care how you do it, as long as the end result is it's right. You know, if you do it half-assed, you ain't getting paid. And I'll send you packing. If it's a 2-hour job and you do it in an hour, you get the same money than you would have gotten if you worked for 2 hours. You know, but only an hour. So he made a lot. He was making more money than I was. I mean, well, not really, but he was pulling in almost I don't know, $700-800 a week. You know, he was good. You know, I didn't have any problems with him. If he had, if you get stuck or something you don't know how to do, just tell me, I don't know how to do that. Can you show me or help me out? And that didn't happen very often, but he wouldn't just try and screw around with it and half-assed it, and hopefully I didn't notice because I would. My reputation was on the line, so he had to be good. But I don't know how many people I just sent down the road, refused to hire because they just didn't see them as being valuable workers. Ray says, I got purple switches and nippling rods, monkey wrench, and a hammer everywhere I go. There you go. I don't know what the hell half that shit is, but hey, you say you got it, Now, for us, I ain't good into English, but I done good woodworks. There you go. Prindle switches. Guys are funny. Like I said, I've had bosses that will stand over your shoulder. The first golf course I worked at, my boss was a jackass, Canadian, fucking pure hoser. No offense to you Canadians, but this guy was like the worst of the worst for Canadians. He looked down on anybody that was American. He thought he was superior, So I started working with him. He says, have you ever repaired a battery charger for an electric golf cart? I said, well, no, but I said, quick learner, show me what to do and I'll figure it out. So he had this I don't know what you'd call it, start to finish thing that he'd do. You had to check every circuit, Now, the battery charger on those things are pretty simple. There's only like 4 components in it. You got the main transformer, which very rarely goes bad. You have the timer circuit that, obviously, if it goes bad, it won't move. You have the diode pack, which controls the charge rate. They go bad on occasion. They're easy to figure out. And you had the main fuse. And that was really the only components you had to worry about. One of those 4 or 5 things would go bad, and you didn't really have to. You had to see do this test, that test. It would take me an hour and a half to diagnose a battery charger. I watched him do it a couple of times. I'm thinking, this is bullshit. Yeah. You think you can do it? I said, oh, yeah, no problem. So he gave me one to work on. I had it fixed in like 10 minutes. They said, well, I got this one done. What's next? Well, how'd you get that done? I said, well, it was a bad timer. How do you know? I said, well, the timer wasn't moving. I set it up for a minute. It didn't count down. Therefore, the timer's bad. Nothing else wrong with it because why would there be? I put a new timer in it. Works fine. Well, that's not the way you're supposed to do it. I said, well, what the hell difference does it make how I did it as long as it's done right? And I got it done so quick that now I have time to do other things. And I could have spent an hour on it and did it your way. But that would just aggravate the shit out of me because I already knew what was wrong with it, It was a bad diode pack. All you do is put the meter on it. You do forward and backward voltages. If they're the same, the diode shot. It should be X amount of current one way and 0 the other way because that's what a diode does. Stop you from backfeeding. Not hard to figure out. It'll literally take you 30 seconds to figure out whether a diode pack is bad or not. Pissed him right off. He goes, oh, I don't know, man. I thought you were going to be a good mechanic. It's fixed, ain't it? You don't believe me? Go ahead and do your little 1 hour bullshit thing you do, and you find out I was right anyway. So the son of a bitch did. He, well, I guess you were right. But you're not supposed to do it that way. So says who? What the hell difference does it make how I do it, as long as the end result is a repaired component? That's all that matters, that it works when I'm done. You know? He'd say he didn't like me too much. And I didn't really like him too much either, but, you know, because he was a dick. I hate bosses like that. See, me, I was a different kind of boss. So look, here's a job. You know, take a look at it, figure out how you want to do it. As long as it comes out right in the end, I don't care if you did it standing on your head with, you know, one hand in your ass. I don't care. As long as the finished product is fine, that's all I care about. How you go about doing it, that's on you. You know? Because some people do things slightly differently. They may know a shortcut that I don't, or whatever. That's why it made me such a good boss. I mean, everybody that I was a boss of, literally, they really did like me. They considered me the greatest boss they ever had, because I wasn't an asshole. He fucking pissed me off, of course, but, you know, because I would fire you as quick as I'd hire you, if not quicker, if you screwed up. But the reality was, I didn't micromanage anybody. And it just drives me nuts when a boss tries to micromanage. You know, this is the way, I don't care how you do it. This is the way I do it. The result's the same in the end. Who the hell cares? You know. After all, says, I tell you what, you learn a lot when you got to stretch the coin out. Most people these days can't work it. That's true. It's very, very, very true, unfortunately, because, I mean, that's what I'm saying. People today, they're just, I don't get it. I really don't. We're a dying breed, man. Us boomers, you know. And millennials, I guess, fall into that category too. But Gen X and Gen Z, they're screwed. Lady took her car. The mechanic said it won't go at night. Mech drove it, ran fine day and night. She said, I don't understand. D is for day and N is for... Oh, Jesus Christ. Bad dad joke. That's true, though. I've heard that one before. It's funny. Natural blonde, yeah, probably. Hey, why are you naked for? Rob, how's it going, man? Oh, man. So, anyway, that's the way that goes. And yeah, it is what it is, like I said. But, and it's almost 8 o'clock, so I'm going to wrap this up. And I wish everybody a good weekend and a safe one, and try not to get sick. Because it's not fun. Trust me on that one. And I'm not going to do the live stream thingy there. Y'all know when they are. Yeah, you guys know what to watch, so. Oh, see, Tom does Monday at 8 o'clock if you want to watch him. And also Wednesday at 8 o'clock for his Workbench Wednesday. Of course, Dave Thurber's got Morning Brew, and he just did On Track Tuesday, so the next one will probably be Wilmer, I think. I think so. Anyway, guys, have a good one. Thanks for hanging out with me, and well, we'll see you next time. And with that, I'm going to put on the outro screen, and remember to flip that son of a bitch off that's been screwing around with that signal for like 2 years.